Whoa, okay, that was kind of weird. And I'm not even sure this thing is recording. All right, so this is something that's been on my mind a lot, and I'm sure if you're relatively new to videography, photography, this is probably something that's on your mind a lot too. So let's talk about it. I think one of the hardest things about getting started in videography or photography is that there are so many things that go into it. Like there's so much equipment, whether it's the camera, the lenses, the lighting, the software, everything. You can get so overwhelmed so quickly. I know I did. But the thing you have to keep in mind is that even the people that you see on YouTube, whether it's Peter McKinnon, Maddie from Travel Fields, Sam Kohler, I mean, all these guys that have hundreds of thousands or millions of followers all had to start from something. And I'm sure when they first started, they didn't have all this crazy gear and all this lighting and thousands of dollars of equipment, because it's just not how it works. Everyone had to start from somewhere. And so I think that's something that we have to keep in mind as beginning artists, is that there's got to be a starting point for us. And yes, it's so easy to think, oh my gosh, if I just had this lens, this camera, if only I had this lighting that was a little bit different, if only I had this, that. It's so easy to think how much better your work could be. And that gives you a reason to maybe not start. I'll get started. I'll do this when I upgrade my lens. I'll do it when I upgrade my camera because it doesn't have the right settings. Guys, I'm shooting this on a Nikon D3200 from like 5 years ago. It doesn't do half of the stuff I want it to do, but it does something. It's a starting point for me, and that's the most important thing here. So that's something to keep in mind, that you can't let wanting all these other things to stop you from doing something. Now, there may be some basic things that you could upgrade or you could acquire to get you going, but maybe you don't have the money to buy a DSLR camera. iPhones shooting 4K, iPhones have really good quality. That can get you started. Maybe you don't have the money to get a super nice microphone. This microphone was like 15 bucks on Amazon. Is it the best? Nope. But guess what? Gets the job done. Gets the job done. Maybe you don't have something really good to record your audio on. Guess what I'm recording on? There's always something. Lighting. Maybe this lighting looks pretty good to you. I hope it does. It's that lamp back there. And I'm sitting right in front of a window. That's my lighting. There's always ways that you can get started and get going. And again, maybe it's another small upgrade that you can make. For me, my D3200, it shoots 1080p at only 30 frames per second. I'd like to get at least 60 frames so I can get some slow motion. Yeah, I wish I could shoot 120 frames for a lot of my B-roll, but I gotta start somewhere. For me, I'm looking at upgrading to a D3200, just one more level so I can shoot 1080p at 60 frames. It's gonna cost me like 50 bucks. This lens that I'm using is a 50mm. Well, when I first bought it, everyone said get a 50mm. What I later learned, I have a crop sensor, so a 50mm is more like an 85mm, 75, somewhere in that range. So I'd like to go for a 35mm crop sensor, will be more like 50, You learn certain things about your craft by doing it. I wouldn't have known all of this stuff if I hadn't been doing photography and videography for the past few years on my own and experimenting. But you've got to experiment. I was just watching a video by Maddie from Travel Fields, who has an awesome channel. Check it out. This may be an older video, but he was talking about how he was going to upgrade his equipment and the new stuff he was going to get. But he also talked about everything that went into making that decision, and he listed like 10 different things about what he wanted in his new camera. And I was sitting there and I was like, man, I would have never thought of that stuff, because I don't have the experience that he has. So I need to keep learning. I need to keep seeing how I use my equipment, what I need, because everyone's needs are going to be a little bit different. So that's what I really encourage fellow new photographers and cinematographers to do, is to just experiment. Just start trying things with what you've got. You can always have better equipment. Even the guys who have thousands of dollars worth of equipment probably wish that they had XYZ, you name it. You just gotta start. You just gotta do something, and that's how you're gonna start making momentum and that's how you're gonna get to the places that you wanna go. It's been on my mind a lot lately. Again, I'm newer, I'm starting out too, but it's something to keep in mind for yourself. And I think that if we all keep that in mind, no matter what level of your craft you're at, you know, that's gonna be a big step into the right direction and to helping you take action and get started now. I hope this video helped. I know it did for me. Like this video if it helped you. Comment if you've got something to add. Subscribe if you want to see more. And we'll see you guys next time.